Despite the pandemic and coronavirus state of health emergency, hundreds of thousands poured onto Sudan's streets, from the capital to the various states and to those stuck in displacement camps because of years of conflict, all demanding the transitional government steps up to complete the goals of the revolution.
We want the transitional government to deliver on justice for the lives lost. These are not protests against the government, we're supporting the government, but we want the government to show us that the revolution was not in vain.
I think it's about time for the central government to collapse. I think it's about time we actually make a move toward making peace until toward our brothers in Darfur, our brothers in Nil al-Azraq. So, and we just only freedom, peace and justice.
In some places, police fired tear gas to prevent protesters from breaching security cordons. Tuesday's protests were on the first anniversary of demonstrations last year. They pressured the Transitional Military Council to negotiate with protest leaders. Weeks after the killing of dozens at a pro-democracy sit-in in Khartoum shattered hopes for a deal. A power-sharing agreement was signed in August, but nearly a year on, many of its conditions still aren't implemented. Sudan is still without a transitional legislative assembly, and nearly all governors are military governors, contrary to the power-sharing agreement. Tuesday's protests haven't been backed by all the members of the ruling coalition known as the Forces of Freedom and Change. Some voiced support, while others deemed it unnecessary, especially because of the coronavirus pandemic. The protests happened the day after members of the former ruling party were arrested. They're accused of planning to sabotage the anniversary protests. June 30th is also the anniversary of the former ruling party coming to power 31 years ago. Hours before the protests, Sudan's Prime Minister, who's yet to complete a year in office, addressed the nation.
In the coming days you will hear decisive decisions, some of which will have a deep political and economic impact. Some sides will try to take advantage to create instability. I urge you to take caution. We will get through this period and we will prevail through our unity and our hold on the goals of the revolution.
For large numbers of Sudanese, the transitional government is falling short of delivering the demands of the revolution, which toppled longtime President Omar al-Bashir. But many here say they'll continue to back the government as it faces many challenges. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.